You're still watching Waves now. It is a sad reality that in situations where armed conflict break out, it is the most vulnerable members of society, namely children, who are most affected by the consequences of war. The 6 most common violations are recruitment and use of children in war, killing, sexual violence, abduction, attacks on schools and hospitals, and denial of humanitarian access. So on the 19th of August 1982, as its emergency special session on the questions of Palestine and the General Assembly appalled at the great number of innocent Palestinian and Lebanese children victims of Israel's act of aggression, decided to commemorate 4th of June of each year as the International Day of Innocent Children Victim of Aggression. The purpose of the day is to acknowledge the pain suffered by children throughout the world who are the victims of physical, mental, and emotional abuse. This day affirms the UN's commitment to protect the rights of children. Its work is guided by the Convention on the Rights of the Child, the most rapid and widely ratified international human rights treaty in history. I mean, so today, if you went on Twitter, you would have seen one of the anchors on Arise TV trending. You know, she was having an interview with the people, the abducted Islamic school people that they abducted their children and all of that. And I mean, the man broke down in tears. Everybody was just crying. There were just tissues all over. In fact, I didn't know when I also started crying. I mean, this is a reality. Children are always victims, you know, going to schools to abduct them and all of that. So this is an important day.
Yes, it
is.
And this is the type of day that our Minister of Information is supposed to be commemorating. But unfortunately, he has bigger problems in his head. As we can see. So we'll get to it.
Talking about minister, maybe you should just
I should start, right?
Your story.
What's in the news? So, the Nigerian government says it has suspended indefinitely the operations of the microblogging site in Nigeria, that's Twitter, citing the alleged use of the platform for activities that are capable of undermining Nigeria corporate existence. Now, they also directed NBC to immediately commence the process of licensing of all social media operations in Nigeria. And this news is interesting because this is coming after 24 hours, or is it 48 hours of Twitter deleting Buhari's tweet. So I don't know if this is a reaction to that, but it is. In fact, it's just because I have decided that Nigeria would not frustrate me. It's supposed to be annoying, but to an extent, I'm not surprised. We've been having kidnapping, insecurity, insurgency. This man has not called any press conference to address the nation. Fine, you're not the president, but if this is as big as you calling a press conference, and the death of children, the kidnapping of children, like you said, people breaking down. I mean, for the profession you were talking about, they were supposed to hold it together, but it is just
at
so
some point
much.
You can't control
it's
that.
Just so much that you can't control it. Your Minister of Information did not see that to talk about, but this deleted tweet is his problem, and trying to ban Twitter from Nigeria is his problem. I remember when Twitter went to Ghana as well to establish their footprints in Africa, and when people were reacting, and this same Lai Mohammed came out to say that Twitter went to Ghana because of the things we say about Nigeria on Twitter. Now, I'm hoping that this action of his is playing better in his head for him to understand that
he just justified the reason Twitter went to Ghana.
So just imagine Twitter having an office, a physical office in Nigeria. Definitely DSS would have condoned the place by now and tell them to pack their loads and go, or come and beg them or bribe them or whatever it is going to be. So I don't know how this is going to work. I don't even know if NBC is the body that is supposed to start regulating social media. It's not working. It's not.
We will have to
up.
Find a way next week to bring someone to explain the what's it called?
How so who are we explaining this to? Are we explaining this to the people that are already using it, or to the government? Because I don't know.
No. As in to explain to us what this will mean for us, and you know how this will.
Maybe you need to look for Lai Mohammed to explain it, because he doesn't even know what is going to be.
Because I know in China,
he won't be mentioning NBC in the first place.
Let me hear AK, but I know in China some social media apps like WhatsApp, for instance, you can't use WhatsApp in China. So there are some social media platforms that are banned in those countries. So are we going to go be like China. But let me hear AK's thoughts on the Twitter ban.
Well, on one hand, it is funny. On the other hand, I don't know what to think about it, because I'm just thinking, if Twitter can delete the tweet of an American president, it did happen, and America did not just wake up and say, how dare you delete the tweet of the president? They
suspended the president.
Because the same thing Twitter said why it didn't cite its office here is freedom of speech. You get freedom to operate within the capacity of your business without feeling like somebody is controlling that. And she just said it. If they were here, really, I'm sure that the office will be visited by now. I'm sure it will be closed, shut down by now. But then again, it goes far to tell us the kind of people that we are. And I do support you, Uwa, because we need to know what is the meaning of this. Just as you said, like in UAE, for example, you can't make a video call with your WhatsApp. Exactly. So what does this really mean? Because I really want to know what's the implication, what rights do we have, and to what extent can we carry out this ban? So it will really be interesting to have someone come talk to us about the regulations behind this.
Absolutely.
And again, what section of the government actually sat down to come to this decision? Is this Lai Mohammed just exercising his power as the Minister of Information, who can push out press release and call journalists together to have a conversation? Because I was privy to seeing a document that was put together after the outrage initially, when they wanted to ban social media or create a bill that is going to hinder the use of social media. And people in the same government came together to put together a report to present to the president on why that should not even be an option and how they can go about regulating the platform so that everybody feels happy. So if those set of people with forward-thinking brains are in the same government advising the same president, because one of them is an essay to the president on digital economy. So how exactly is a Lai Mohammed even the Minister of Information? In fact, I'm tired. I don't even know where I want to start from.
In fact, they said the account that they used to tweet it, I think we have that picture. The account that they used to tweet the ban is a Twitter account.
They need to start by deleting all their accounts on Twitter, all their verified. They should hold their chest together, from Tolu Ogulesi to every one of them there. They should delete it. Let's start from there first, then we'll know we're going somewhere. But for now,
this way,
I don't know.
All right, okay, what did you find for us in the news?
That's why I said it was funny.
Very funny, actually.
So on Thursday, the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Shaibu Ibrahim, in an interview in the media house, while reacting to why they should move to scrap the NYSC, I said that the NYSC was part of the national defense policy of Nigeria and to be mobilized for war if needed. I don't know how many of you had looked at it trending everywhere with very funny memes and very funny videos of how NYSC members would now be ready for war. But the news from the Vanguard is saying the NYSC has come out to say, I think today, that they are dismissing that report that core members have been mobilized for war, stressing that it is not true, and that actually they were misquoting what the DG said. That it was circumstantial and that the interests of NYS, the core members, would always be the forefront, so that we should all relax. NYS members are not being trained for war. But it's funny in a way, because I don't know how we are quick to doing these things, because the speed at which everybody just went, the videos are
trending on Twitter.
That was the highlight of yesterday, man. Like, I had fun online yesterday. Did you see the dance? Then I said, these are the people that are going to fight.
And the funny thing, AK, this is why they need to understand that Twitter is actually a form of relief for Nigerians, because you can't, as a government, you just catch your cruise, catch your trip there. If you went on Twitter yesterday, all the memes on this but I'm happy that you took the story, because Jennifer took that story yesterday. So I'm happy that they have come out to respond to all the all the reactions from Nigerians, and hopefully that kind of conversation never comes up again. I knew he was quoted out of context, but this is what we're saying,
because this is a
Go ahead.
Okay, I said it was needed because this is a precarious time, very touchy.
Yeah.
Every subject is very touchy. We're all on alert. We're all, every news is important. You're trying to piece it together. So when you hear that core members have been prepared for war, you're like, hey, has it reached this stage?
Yeah.
And it's good to just put our minds at rest and say, okay, it was circumstantial.
Yeah.
It was just probably in his zealousness to explain why the NYSC program is important. And
that was what, I saw.
I think,
So what I was saying is they took it out of context. But you see, this is what we said too when we talked about communication on Monday, right? When you are in a position of authority, you must understand that every word that comes out of your mouth, you must be very clear on what you want to communicate, because you see, it is very easy for you to be misconstrued. It's easy for people to take your comment out of out of context. So your responsibility is communicate exactly how you want it to be heard. So I think going forward, he's learned his lesson. So my story is just a quick one, because based on what we're talking about today, financial sector is under intense pressure from fintech firms. That's the conversation. And let me just pick an excerpt where they said that the Nigerian financial services sector has come under intense pressure from financial technology, that's fintech firms, which are agile and innovative firms leveraging technology to deliver tailored services, offerings to consumers and corporates rather. So it says the worry that they are having is that the fintech company still remains largely unregulated, with stakeholders yet to develop an acceptable regulatory framework for that sector. So I'm very happy that that's what we're talking about today. I would love to hear what the guests would be saying. I picked this topic, this news, because it's just in line with what we're having, the conversation we're having today about banks and the fintech. So when we come back from the break, we'll bring in our guest and we'll start the conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.